China, the world's most populous nation, its leaders imposed a ruthless one-child policy to keep the birth rate down. But now, after 35 years, it's finally over, and the country is hoping for a baby boom. Today's mothers have more flexibility to shape their own future.
I'm, the only child in my family. Sometimes I feel a little bit lonely, so I think, 2 or 3 is the perfect.
Now the government must find a way to re-employ the despised population police, an 85 million strong army tasked with enforcing birth control and abortions.
他肯定恨你，对不对？你也恨他，对不对？
Across China, the enforcers have left their scars. So what's the legacy of the one-child policy? With a rapidly aging population, how well equipped is China now to face the future? It's Tuesday morning in Danfeng County in central China, 700 miles southwest of Beijing. Li Bo is on his way to work. He belongs to the army of family planning officials stationed in every city, town and village in the country. Their mission has been to drive down the birth rate and to limit most families to just one child. At the beginning of 2016, China finally scrapped its one-child policy. Now Li Bo's role has taken a dramatic turn in a new direction. Down here? Yeah? Today he's taking me to check up on a small girl who's been ill. Liu Siqi is 2, and like more than 60 million Chinese children, she's being raised by her grandparents. Her parents are migrant workers, and she only gets to see them twice a year. Li Bo is a pioneer in a pilot project designed to help rural children to get a better start in life. Today, the once feared family planner visits villages with a sack of toys and picture books.
思琪给我印象刚开始的时候也是他奶奶经常带去的就是也见到我也是有点怕生然后第一次见到我都哭了怎么不能想呢也有一个东西
It's quite interesting. He's not just kind of giving her sweets or making silly faces. He's actually asking her, what colour is that? How many are these? He's getting her to count, getting her to recognise parts of the duck's face. It's all quite educational. Li Bo's new job is to teach parents and grandparents how to relate better to small children.
来，你追我好不好？你追我好不好？
But I wondered about Mrs. Chen's earlier experience of the hated population police.
不喜欢，不是说连他们不喜欢，连乡上的干部、村上干部都不喜欢。那时候就像我们那时候计划生育跑的啥，那别人那时候他必须晚上，白天你谁都跑的不在家，他就来了，人家不在家再泼上他一泼。
What about people that were forced to have abortions or were forcibly sterilized? Were there any cases of that?
我那时候还引产一个我第二个孩子，就是第一个不是儿子嘛，第二个就不行。
Extraordinarily, Mrs. Chen had 2 daughters after that, but they had to live undercover.
结果就在我妈这样也没有发过，是12岁了才上户口。12岁才上户口才到这个地方。我是05年搬到这里啊，我们老家不在山区嘛啊，搬到这。
The one-child policy introduced in 1979 was designed by military scientists to keep the world's largest population in check. An enormous family planning bureaucracy rolled into action, enforcing abortions and sterilizations on an unprecedented scale. At least 336 million abortions have been carried out under the policy, often with coercion and brutality. Since the start of 2016, all Chinese couples are now allowed 2 children, but no more than that, and the enforcers like Li Bo still have to ensure that each birth is authorized.
上一次呢，那一种。
Today he's busy with part of his old job screening local women. If a couple wants to start a family, they need official approval before trying to conceive.
上嘴唇你要注意小心那个脱了的话，你要及时的。
上环还是怎么上网？
The woman's medical history is logged in this little red book. It lists the children she has, contraception she uses, and any terminated pregnancies. Tell me what these various stamps are in here. You've got like different signatures, lots of pages of them. What does it mean?
这个是上环的时间，这是孩子出生的。
Now you're allowed to have another child, yeah?
还没有那打算呢。
Do you want another one? What do you think?
现在没有那打算，
What does your husband say?
不想要，我也想要，他不想要。
Is that your husband? At that moment, her husband shows up. This is a bit cheeky because I haven't met you before, but can you just tell me why you don't want to have another baby?
因为2个孩子呢，第一压力很大，现在经济条件呢也不允许，也是暂时还没有考虑。
But later, maybe?
暂时还没有，以后再讲吧。
In China's big cities, the future has already arrived. I wonder if young women here in the capital, Beijing, feel more confident about having a second child. So I've come to meet some expectant mothers. Antenatal yoga classes are becoming fashionable as affluent women seek more control over their bodies and shun the old one-size-fits-all approach to childbirth.
人是前方如果后弯，对，托起手来到髋的两侧。
Can I just ask you, how many of you are thinking about having a second child after the first one?
If my first baby is a girl, I want a second one. But the first baby is a boy. I think I can only have one baby.
Boys are expensive here because when they get married, they're expected to pay for a new home.
My first is boy, and my second is boys again. So I feel a little, stressed right now.
This is your first child. Would you like to have another one?
Absolutely. I'm, the only child in my family. Sometimes I feel a little bit lonely, and I don't like, my kids to feel the same, right? So I think, 2 or 3 is the perfect.
2 or 3, but 3 for the time being is not legal.
Yeah. But I think, as time changes, a lot of things can change.
Do you think that the policy was necessary in the first place?
It's a very sensitive topic to discuss in China. But, I think, at that time point, it's like, 20 or 30 years before, probably it's kind of a must for us to do that, because of, a lot of consideration from the government. But right now, the government sees, the need for us to raise the popularity in China.
Raise the population.
I guess so, yeah.
China remains the world's most populous nation with nearly 1.4 billion people. Without coercive birth control, the government claims there would have been an extra 400 million citizens, putting intolerable pressure on the country's environment and resources. But the one-child policy has produced negative side effects, like a chronic gender imbalance. Many couples choose to abort girls over boys. Policymakers in Beijing are increasingly concerned. Dr. Tsai Jiahua is Deputy Director of the Family Planning Commission.
Companies 在数量方面，实际上我们所希望的就是大家能够按照政策去进行生育。今天我们实际上担心的问题是经济发展了以后，大家的生育意愿开始有所下降。今天我们所看到的是，我们所担心的是年轻人，他连第一个孩子都不愿意生的话，更不要谈这个第二个这个孩子。
Oh, Lucy. Back in Danfeng County, Li Bo has invited me to meet his family, his wife Shuna and 9-year-old daughter Li NC. He's a loyal Communist Party official, and NC, like all her classmates, is a young pioneer.
A, B, C, D, F, G, H,
That's good. I wonder whether Li Bo and his wife wish the law allowing a second child had come earlier.
这个我想国家有国家的考虑，因为他考虑的是整体，对吧？不能说我们每个人想怎么样，然后就怎么样，对。
Now that you and your wife, Shona, you could have another child, is that something you would consider?
会的。实际上我们有时还考虑这个经济状况啊，还有这个一些事情。
His parents had urged them to have another baby while the one-child policy was still in force. But then they would have had to pay a big fine, the so-called social maintenance fee. How big was the fee? What was the normal cost of having a child out of plan?
这个是根据当地的年人均纯收入计算的，3到6倍。
Li Bo tells me that his job was to enforce the one-child policy by issuing these fines.
大概得是劝说下，然后做这个手术的。
Did you sometimes have to persuade them that an abortion was in their best interest?
会，就是也是，再者说了那个，因为当时国家的人口形势也是比较严峻的，孩子生多了也不容易就是生活质量也不高，孩子生多了，然后那个对孩子也不好啊。就是这样给说一说。
Li Bo is clearly uncomfortable with my questions, and I feel uncomfortable asking them. Did it make you feel quite unpopular in this town?
不欢迎啊，因为我们执行政策，那个或许就是那个和他们的意愿就是有违背。比如说现在警察和小偷，对不对？有点类似这种关系啊。然后他肯定恨你，对不对？你也恨他，对不对？这种只要国家有政策，这种情况应该会一直存在。
I've come to Hangzhou, eastern China, to meet a man who knows all about conflict with the population police. Wu Yaoshui is a lawyer who spent years investigating alleged abuses within the family planning system. He says he has proof that fines imposed by family planners are siphoned off by corrupt officials. This receipt shows 10,000 RMB, or around $1,600, spent on luxury silk quilts.
What's interesting about this is scrawled in the corner, written in black ink, is an authorization saying that the money can be taken out of 35,000 RMB paid into the local